Shalom, Kahala Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahshai, Ba'Shem Ruach Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about how women are starting to realize that they're going to need a man for the coming events which the whole world is soon to come upon. But I'm here to tell you that it's deeper than that. But let's read this first. This is Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach.
I think the world gonna end pretty soon, so fuck dating. Who want to move in? I got the house. I have no kid. We can raise your kid together. We can be a big old happy family. I promise not to get into your business. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I promise you, I'm not going to check on your phone, on your social media, or nothing. Drama free. Drama free. Promise you. That's a good deal. That's a really good deal.
So you just heard that woman, right? The key part of that video that caught my attention is that she said she thinks the world's gonna end. So fuck dating. You see, your average day Babylonian woman, especially the women of our nation, the Negro, Latino, Native Americans out there, have been grossly miseducated and misled by the devil's system, right? To think that you're in fact the prize, right? That you have a certain power. But in fact, it's the very opposite. The women are more vulnerable than the men are, right? And the reason is because the women have no covering cast over them, right? You have no real protection other than what this system provides you, right? And a lot of our women are starting to now understand that covering cast is not going to be there forever, right? Especially now that the system is starting to turn on everybody. Now, like it tells you here, right? It says, in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. Now, that doesn't mean that every man out there will have 7 girlfriends, 7 wives. No, it just, 7 means a complete number, right? Meaning that women are going to understand that they're going to need a man to get through the events of what's going on. It's gonna apply in multiple ways, right? Because the coming end of the world events we're about to go through, it's gonna be pretty crazy, right? And I'm sure we all have seen these dystopian movies where it's chaos outside and whatnot. Well, you're gonna have women of today who aren't gonna really be spiritual at all, and they're gonna get with the wicked ass people of our society, the people who they think may be their best chance for survival or for more likely comfort in these times. The drug dealers, the strong men, and all this stuff, right? But not realizing that those men there are actually the dead ends. They're going to end up taking the jabs, taking the mark of the beast, and eventually being mowed down by the end time events. Jacob's trouble, the famine, the war, basically just falling by the sword. And along with them will be the women that are attached onto these men, right? You see, because though what we will be going through is going to be a physical, event, it is a spiritual war and a spiritual course which we must go through. And the men who are actually prepared for that are the men who are in this truth. Now, just like what we've been telling everybody regarding the other camps, there is only a particular group of men that you should be following because they're teaching the 100% truth, and that is the men here at Great Millstone, right? The starting off with Apostle Tahar on down, right? You see these other camps out here that really are just set up as filtering systems to separate desirable from the undesirable. The women who are caught up in these groups, these camps, the IUIC, the ISCPK, the WFI, the Sakari group, those women who have realized that they do gotta attach themselves to a spiritual man, somebody who ultimately can obtain salvation, they're gonna ultimately fall because the man that they are attached themselves to, they're basically false prophets, or following false prophets, right? And like, what does the Bible say? They be blind leaders of the blind, and if they are blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Well, you see that that also refers to the women that are attached onto these men that are going to fall. So that being said, there's going to be, when things start picking up more than they are now, women are going to start seeing that the dating scene is done, the clubbing scene is done, the vacationing scene is done, right? When supplies start getting lower, where they can't do what they were supposed to do, then what's going to happen is that their priorities are going to change. They're going to get a sudden realization, like this woman, for example. It was reported on Daily Mail. It says, exclusive: I have no other talent. Gold Coast influencer breaks down in tears as she loses followers on porn website OnlyFans due to coronavirus pandemic and can no longer pay her rent. Right. So now this is an example, a very specific example, how women who were what does the scripture say? Women who liveth in pleasure are dead while they liveth. Right. This woman, she was eating sumptuously. She was living high off the hog, and she was doing well in her own eyes. But now that her safety net has been pulled out from underneath her, what does she say here? I have no other talent, right? And this is going to be the sudden realization that a lot of women here in Babylon the Great are going to have, right? Just like what happened, down, I think this is in Venezuela, this image here, right? This is just a funny mime, right? But it tells you here, it says, what women think they'll do when the economy collapses versus what they'll actually do, right? Because you see the whole image that is pushed here in Babylon the Great, and throughout the world for the most part, or the westernized world, I should say, that the Edomite controlled world, is that women are in fact the superior of the species, and that they're the warrior, warrior Amazon, princesses, and that they don't need a man to survive. You see, that right there is a fiction, right? Because the thing is that the majority of women out there, they do not possess the skills to perform at that level, right? Like in this character here, right? Katniss Everdeen. The average woman is nothing like her, right? And even if there was a woman who behaved, had the same traits, everything, the world is not set up in a way where women can actually, excel at a higher rate than men, right? Now, yes, there's definitely some exceptions. There's definitely women who have been put over men, and they are definitely showing it, right? In fact, that's actually biblical, that the Lord would put women over men. However, the vast majority of women out there, the ones who have been living a deceitful lifestyle, they're going to end up like these women down here, selling their bodies on the street for a sandwich for $5. Like there was a documentary, I think it was about women who had fled from Venezuela into like some neighboring country, I think or from Brazil to Venezuela or something like that. It was like last year, and it just showed this woman. Her husband had died, and she had a kid, and she had migrated to another country, but the country wasn't giving her a work visa. So basically, she couldn't get any real job. So she was basically forced to sell her body, right? And you could tell, she was just going through it, man. But again, sadly, this is going to be the story of many of you women, right? And why do I say that? Because you got examples like this, right? From this reporter, he says, OnlyFans reporting 3.5 million new signups in March, right? And this is back in 2020, right? The first year when the whole, this whole pandemic thing started, man. It says 60,000 of them new creators per an email from the company in the first 2 weeks of March alone. That was a 75% increase from the new level, right? And when you go to OnlyFans right now, they're trying to go public, right, and be sold on the stock market, which means that they're going to need to make their company family friendly, which means they are now going to be shutting down all these porn accounts, right? There's even, if you go to Reddit, or you go to, I think, even YouTube, you're seeing these new OnlyFans ads where they're basically, making funny videos showing that they are more than just a porn site, right? That in fact they have other, normal celebrities or normal people who have OnlyFans account pages. And again, and the reason is because that meal ticket, which these women thought was going to be there, it is being removed by them, right? Because what does the scripture say? Let's get it real quick. It says, this is Isaiah 32:9. Rise up, you women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, right? So just like that video, we seen that woman in the beginning, saying that, fuck dating, that, she just wants a man, right? Like she said, she had a house, she has her own money. So tell me, man, the majority of women out there who have nothing but what's between their legs to offer, what do you have to offer a man, right? When you have women of that caliber out there, saying that they're gonna be drama free, they have a house, let's raise your kids. She just wants to be with the man. She doesn't want to date no more, right? You see, what's gonna end up happening is that the value of men, and when I say men, I'm talking about good men, and not only just good men, but especially men who are in this truth, right? Women are going to start realizing that the men who are actually know about the truth, know about what's actually going on, they're going to be the ones that other people are going to look towards for information, for details. And one thing that I've learned about women, right, because they are definitely very tricky to understand, is that if they see that a man is respected by his peers or the people who surround them, they will flock to him. They find that very attractive, right? And when that time comes, when people start to pursue and seek the men of the Lord, the women are going to take note and they are going to start coming, right? Now, I ain't making this video so that way to tell all the brothers out there, like, hold on, brothers, here comes all the women we want. No, man, because a lot of us, we don't even want any extra women, man. We have our women, our wives, and we're good, right? Because you see, in that time, having a woman isn't going to be like a fucking 24/7 party, man. It's gonna be a lot of work, man. You're not only going to be watching over yourself, you're going to be having to watch over another person, right? So that woman is going to have to, pull her own weight, make herself more attractive and I'm not talking about physically attractive. I mean, she has to bring something to the table more than just her kobah, all right? Now, I said that to say this, man, because as the scripture says here, man, right? Ye careless ones, right? Strip you and make you bare, right? The Lord is taking away all that glitz and glamour that you thought, or wicked women out there thought that they had, right? So much so that they're going to lament for the teats and for the pleasant field and for the fruitful vine. They're going to remember when they could go and hustle 4 guys in one day to get all these meals, that they could be with 7 guys. One guy would get her phone bill, one guy would get electricity, one guy would pay rent, one guy would pay the car bill. That's going away, man. And why is that? Well, because of the times that we are going through, man. The Lord is now making the vintage fail, right? The vision shall fail, and the Lord is basically taking away these people, the goodies that these women had that were given to them by this wicked ass system, and that they basically followed after and forsake their nation. Because yes, you Negro, Latino, Native American women out there who have been down with the system, who have thought you were all that, now you're going to basically, be in the thick of it, right? You're going to find out that you chose the wrong side, that you chose to be with the enemies, and all this is going to come back to hit you in the ass, right? And this is happening because the gathering, it shall not come, right? You will not be able to succor men, right? Because you had people like this. You had women like this. We're going to give you an example of your average Babylonian woman. Here's a Northern Kingdom Israelite woman.
So I'm drunk at a party, and I invited 3 of my boyfriends, and they all came through. And watching them play beer pong is probably the funniest thing I've ever watched. They were all dabbing each other up and shit, and I was just like, if only you motherfuckers knew. I'm for the streets, baby.
Yeah, so she definitely is for the streets. This woman is one of those women that will end up in the streets, right? Literally selling her kebab for a sandwich.
Oh, you got me fucked up. I ain't got the type of pussy. If you looking for brand new, like never been used pussy, I'm not the girl for you. I ain't even gonna lie. I ain't that, cause I ain't the bitch that's finna sit up here and be like, I haven't fucked, and unless I haven't fucked, I'm never telling you that story. Don't ask me no question like that. When the last week, the other day, that's me. The other day, I just fucked a nigga, that's me. I'm never finna be, oh no, I don't do stuff. No, I be sucking dick with both hands, slob and everything. I be doing all that shit. Like, I'm not the girl that's, no, I don't know. I be gagging. I'm a nasty bitch. Lil' Kim, all that shit. I'm Maya Angelou mixed with Lil' Kim, mixed with Foxy, mixed with Lauryn Hill. So like, I'll pray over the dick and then I'll fuck around and swallow that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's me, multi-dimensional. I'm never finna, no, I don't know, nigga. No, that ain't me. Y'all need to grow the fuck up. Stop asking women about how our body count. Nigga, either you gonna eat this shit or not. Either you finna be with me or not. I'm not finna play like I ain't been fucking. That's delusional. You want me to be out here acting like I ain't been fucking?
That's enough about that, man. You can see there's a whole other fucking minute to that bullshit. But you see, these women, they've been destroyed. They've been destroyed by the Babylonian system that has basically misled the women of our nation, right? Thinking that they have all the power and that there's no consequences to their actions, where in fact it's very opposite, right? It's been shown that women actually harvest the DNA of the men that they sleep with. Hence why they're so mixed up, right? Not only physically with the DNA that they now hold, that their body holds onto because of the sperm that they, take into their body, but also spiritually, man, right? The spiritual demons or entities that get put on them because of the men that they've been with, like for example, man, when you get with a girl and she's a good kisser, or she, is really great in bed, how do you think she got like that, man? How do you think that happened, right? Or she has little idioms, or she has little, intricacies that she does, or the way she handles herself out in public. Where did she get that from, man? It's from the dude that she was with before you, man, right? And those are all small spirits, right? And again, all this has been led because the system has misled these women, man. They set up, at examples, wicked examples, which then permeates through the society, through celebrities, singers, what do they call them? Freaking influencers. And it produces women of low caliber, right? Especially women of our nations, because you see, just like these devils in power today, the Edomites, right? The so-called Caucasian race, they weaponize everything, right? They weaponize society, right? And especially the women and the plight of the women, right? The normal use of the woman has been changed, and that's all by purpose. And you see, what this has produced is what is beautifully illustrated here. As you can see, women, they come into the world, right? They come in fresh and new, not knowing shit, man, thinking they're all, like what Babylon tells them, man, that they are the next best thing, that they themselves are God's gift to women, right? There's even videos of women thinking that they are God, man. Look, there's where is that image, man? Here you go. Right? Women out there have a strong delusion on them, and it's because of the way the society has brought them up. But let me tell you, man, the woman's value is told plainly in the Bible, man. It's in Proverbs 6:26, but the NIV version of the scripture tells it plain as day. It says, "For a prostitute can be had for a loaf of bread, but another man's wife preys on your very life." Right? So, the cost of a woman is for a day is a loaf of bread, man. Right? So you see, there's a better version. Christian Standard Bible, "For a prostitute's fee is only a loaf of bread." Right? So there you go, man. So you women out there, like these women here, or this, there's no value in these women, man. There's no value in these women, and even less so in days when you're going to have women like this. Beautiful women who actually have things to offer, right? And then there's going to be even more spiritually attractive women out there, right? Women who are into this truth, who are following the Bible the best they can, understanding that the only way that they're going to be saved, or not, I'm sorry, not the only way, but that the most likely way that they're going to be saved is to attach themselves to a man of the Lord, right? Because the Lord is going to save particular women, right, who do not have men on this side, because he has a plan for them in the kingdom to meet up with a brother who's going to be in the kingdom who doesn't have a wife on this side, right? Plain and simple. But that being said, the majority of the women out there, right, are going to be with righteous men on this side. And I can tell you, man, I've met a lot of very beautiful, righteous brothers, diligent brothers, and we don't meet each other like women and stuff like that, but the brothers who actually have women. And you could tell, from interacting with the brothers and everything, going to houses, just how the houses ran, you could see that those women that the brothers have, that the Lord brought those two together, right? So you're going to have righteous women with righteous men, just as the scripture says, a portion of a wicked man is a wicked woman. It's the opposite. It's the same, man. The portion of a righteous man is a righteous woman. So that being said, a lot of the righteous, really good spiritual men out there, a lot of them are already going to be taken up. So much so that there's going to be women who are going to be clamoring and going like crazy to try to get at good men, and on top of that, good spiritual men. So that being said, the scriptures make it plain. This is Isaiah 32:2. "And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." And that's ultimately what it's going to be with a man, right? For all you women out there who may still think that you're strong and independent, thinking that you're gonna ride this out and that you're gonna make it to the kingdom. Well, hey, if you think that's gonna be your best bet, if that's the spirit the Lord has on you, then hey, we'll see if it works. But the scripture makes it very plain that the women are gonna be saved through their man. Now, again, I made this video not to boast or say, hey, the women are coming, but no. But it is for you women out there who are into these scriptures, who want to get right, who want to find somebody, right? I'm not saying go to no freaking IUIC Bible dating app, and try to find a husband that way. No. But, start getting into the scriptures more. Pray to the Lord that he'll bring somebody to you if that's what you need, right? Start seeking a godly man. Start pulling away from this Babylonian world, man. This world is meant to destroy you, right? Because this world is using you as a weapon against the men of your society to create what you're seeing here, man. The destruction of our nation, right? And again, the Lord is doing away with this. This is why you're starting to see all these bad things happen to women, man. The shutting down of OnlyFans, the losing of jobs. Again, if you look at the statistics of all the jobs that were lost during this whole C-19 pandemic, the majority of the people who lost their jobs were women. And now that these devils that run society are pretty much done with you, they're now going to put you in line to be destroyed, just like the men that you helped to destroy of your nation, right? Well, and I'm not talking about you righteous, sisters out there. I'm talking about the wicked women of our society, the women who have been turned into strong, independent, feminist women, right? Who think that jumping with other nations, men of other nations, is going to save them. Those women are going to be straight out destroyed, right? There's no helping them, and they've joined themselves on to other nations. But like I said, like the women that we have just seen, those horrible beast examples, along with women like this.
I'm becoming afraid of my hatred for men. It started as a fun little, those TikToks where people are like, don't make jokes about having kinks because your brain doesn't know you're joking, and it actually develops them. I think I joked way too much about hating men, and now I am genuinely, in a sexist way, I hate them. Like in a way that a white man from Alabama hates black people. I hate men. I walk past them and I want to kill them, and they aren't even doing anything. I just see them and it fills me with rage. Stop.
And there you go, right? So women like this, there's no hope for them. They're destroyed, right? This right here is a very spiritual video, right? Not only is this woman destroyed with her identity, right? With blonde hair, right? Sporting, envying her oppressors, but she has a snake talking in her ear, basically symbolizing that. And not only that, but she's tatted up, and like with those witches tattoos, right? Because that's what those finger tattoos are. They go back to witches, okay? So you see, this is a destroyed woman. And again, so these women here, they're going to fall by the sword. They're going to fall by this famine. They're going to fall to the collapse of the society, which we are soon to go through. So for you Aquathium out there, hey, may the Lord be with you, right? And, pray that the Lord leads you in the right direction. And Lord willing, he'll join you up with an equally righteous brother, or he'll set a way to have you be with a brother when you're in the kingdom. Lord will, all right? So hopefully this video was edifying. Till the next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakok Kodash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.